Spoilers and Fandom is like a book club for geeky stuff. Join us as we delve into the depth of our backlogs and sift through the games, comics, shows, movies, and books that we haven't checked out yet.
It always felt like a 2D kind of thing, like
What?
he's Mesmer in The Boys.
In The Boys.
What do you mean? Like a 2D thing?
I don't even know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Like
it
his
only works
characters.
one way.
Yeah, because he's only able to read people.
He can't.
Yeah, he's
they can't
a lame.
Yeah.
It's a lame power.
Is it? No, I think
No,
it's,
I
I
don't
think
think
I think it's one of the better powers.
Yeah.
Even though you can't use it beyond.
No, you'd still be a
I
really
mean,
good
his
spy kind of thing. So
His
long as you're
TV
not...
show looked really.
Yeah, the TV show looks cheesy as hell.
But they did look like literal 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Doogie House.
It was very,
Yeah.
very manimal, very
This thing that used to come on
Charlie's Angels.
Timestar, what is it called?
Which
Derek.
Why?
It felt like
Yeah.
Derek to me. The German detective the German detective show that used to come on KBC.
I don't know, but did you know that the X-Men theme, right? There's a Hungarian TV drama, police TV drama that was based post-Cold War. They're suing them for the X-Men theme. They're suing Marvel because it sounds way too close.
Okay, well,
Really?
you're
Yeah.
going to play
I'll
that
show it to you
afterward
after
then.
this.
Yeah. We have to see this.
Okay, hey everyone! So today we're talking about Cthulhu.
Yes, the movie I picked.
Yeah, from 2007. I am Hellsnight,
I'm Hillary.
and today we have a special guest
Yes.
with us.
Do we? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Hey guys, I'm Dean.
Yeah.
Yes, Dean. Which you've been on the show before, right?
I have been on the show. before.
Which one did you come for? I have trouble remembering.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
No, we haven't
we talked
played.
about Shadow.
I haven't played Shadow of Mordor. What?
But we talked about it.
We talked about Shadow of Mordor. We did like 3 different things on that day, but Shadow of Mordor was like the outtake, if I remember right.
No. Nope.
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 Hey.
Maybe Dark Souls? No, you
Dark
weren't there
Souls
for Dark
was-
I
Souls.
wasn't there
Souls
for
was
Dark
fine.
Souls.
This is gonna bug me now.
Yeah.
We'll dig through the archives and see what we can find.
It wasn't a comic.
No, it wasn't a comic. It was a game. It was definitely a game.
Ay.
We will find it.
Because the
We'll
games we
find it.
played, okay, it's not Tacoma, it's not
No,
Fury,
it
it's not
wasn't
Dark
that.
Souls,
Yeah.
it's not State of Mind, and it's not.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
was it Prey?
Prey? No, I haven't played any of what you're mentioning. I've
Are you
never
for
played
real?
Shadow of Mordor. I've
No,
never
wait,
played
no,
Prey.
we're confused. We came and we just talked. We were set up at your old place.
Okay, we haven't
Yeah.
actually done a show.
We haven't actually done a show.
Okay.
So we just talked.
We were just talking. We talked for
Yeah.
like an hour, yes. About all those things that you mentioned.
Ah.
But yes, it wasn't a show, sorry.
Okay. Fair. All right. Well, welcome for the first time then, I guess, Dean.
No, my dreams are shattered.
And
Thanks, guys.
and before we start, regarding the boys, all of you seem to have liked it. No one really said anything specific. I'm just gonna mention stuff at the start of every episode in case anyone wants to say anything
Okay.
in terms of our listeners giving us feedback on what they thought about the show.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
No worries.
So.
But okay, I guess that's because everybody liked it.
Yeah,
I guess
everyone liked it.
We're more or less in agreement. It's a
Yeah.
good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Boys was a good show. Yeah.
We were even talking about it right before this.
Yes. we were. Also, so Cthulhu is the movie we picked. You picked.
Yeah.
And man, so it was.
Exactly.
You said it was hard to find, right?
It was.
And
I thought it was.
dude.
How did you find it? I
For
do
me-
really like the old ones, but how did you even find that?
I found this movie
Uh-huh.
based. Okay, like Dean knows, I'm a huge fan of Lovecraft's work.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to look up some of the movies.
Yeah.
That guys have made in that universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd been looking and I'd wanted to do. There's a silent movie that had actually been done,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'd wanted us to watch.
Yeah.
But then, okay, the idea that I had was that it would have been a watch along,
Mm-hmm.
considering it's a silent movie. there's not going to be any like sound coming from it. So we
Yeah.
could have done the podcast live
Watching.
while watching the movie. But then I couldn't find that one.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I'll find it at some point and watch it on my own. So
No,
in looking for
bring
that,
it.
is when I found this one.
Uh-huh.
I didn't find it anywhere we were looking for.
Yeah.
You found it on Amazon Prime or something.
Oh, yes. I had a hell of a time looking for this. I basically didn't manage to find it anywhere. To the point where I asked Debbie to look on her sources. She uses like Chinese websites.
Mhm.
So the way she finds it is she'll type the name in Chinese in actual pinyin
Mhm.
and find it that way,
Mhm.
because that way it won't get flagged for
Oh,
censorship
yeah.
and stuff. So she was able to get it downloaded.
Mhm.
And then you told me that
It's
it was on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, the whole movie
Straight
is on
up.
YouTube.
And it wasn't appearing in search. Like when you search for it on Google, it won't show up there.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. So this is why I had a hard time finding it. I went through like pages and pages of
Oh, and it
Google
doesn't
search.
show up on Google.
It is basically I went to like a buttload of sites
Uh-huh.
that all linked back to Amazon Prime Video. I even signed up for an account for Amazon Prime. And if you follow my Instagram, you know that that didn't work
It had
because you're in Kenya, so you don't have access. You're not allowed to watch these movies. So
And then also the idea of you can get free Amazon Prime for 30 days
yeah, and then
elsewhere.
yeah,
But here it's 7
It's
days.
7, yeah. And there's nothing. By the way, there is nothing on Prime Video here.
So I guess
It's
that's why they
such
give
a-
you the 7 days.
Fuck
It's like
that,
figure,
man. No!
and figure it out.
If anything,
7
we
days
should
is
have, like,
allowed.
60 days.
Bad. It's so
If
bad.
there's nothing, if there's that much nothing on it.
Yeah,
my
there
goodness.
wasn't
then,
anything.
Then why have the 60 days? Can
No,
you
if there's that much nothing, give
Like
them
you-
60 days to.
Because to just stay on it, because there's no reason. Like
I'm
I
sure it's,
immediately
within
went-
60 days you'll find a reason to stick to it.
Like I immediately went to just cancel after like I found nothing. I tried looking for stuff as well.
Mhm.
I found nothing.
even the boys, stuff like that?
I didn't see the boys show up. American Gods was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was there.
Okay, the big
Um,
shows I bet are gonna be there because that.
No,
what's it
so
called?
on Amazon. Sorry, this is becoming about Amazon, but like on a,
That's part of the process. It's
yeah,
part of the process.
like they have like HBO and like it's such a good deal. You get Boomerang, HBO, Stars, all basically the full catalogs from Hulu and all these things, and that's the way it's advertised.
But then when you
It
get
is
in,
nothing. So, yeah, that really just sucks.
Yeah. But so yeah, if anybody's looking for the movie, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
If the director, I think the writer-director is a guy called Daniel Gildock.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
a cool name.
Yeah. I actually thought when I was opening the YouTube page, I thought that was like a YouTube username.
Yeah.
It's actually his name. And if you look him up, and you'll find the whole movie on his channel.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you're really struggling looking for it,
just
don't,
YouTube.
Just YouTube it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't do what I did. I literally spent hours.
And if I'm not
I
wrong,
literally spent hours.
and if I'm not wrong, I think even the silent movie should be there.
On YouTube as
Or
well.
it might be on YouTube. Like there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that
All the research.
I never bother to download.
Yeah, this
stuff.
is the second time
Yeah, I found stuff on YouTube.
that you've like. When will I learn?
For me, that's the first place I look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we watched this movie.
Yeah, we watched the movie. Dean actually has just finished it.
Literally just finished it.
Yeah.
Half an hour ago.
Wow. Okay. And so it is Cthulhu. Is it like you haven't watched any of the other Cthulhu?
I've never watched. This is the very first thing that I've watched that's even remotely related to. Okay, at least in name. That's related to it.
But you know a bit about the lore, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You as well?
The same thing
Same
as well.
thing.
I love. I've stumbled upon the books.
Yeah.
I literally devoured all the books, but this stuff would be a lot over short periods of time. You start having weird dreams of things growing up in the walls and things like that. But I also found a couple of games, and the games are also
Yeah.
really good, like ways of getting you into the universe. But this is the first movie I've watched.
Yeah. So I'm aware of the RPG, the tabletop RPG.
I haven't.
There's a lot of people who played on Twitch and stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was like going through my phase of Titan's Grave is so amazing. I need to find more stuff like this.
Yeah.
I came across a lot of those shows. but those are really slow paced.
Yeah.
And then of course, like from the games, I haven't actually played any of the games. But from the games, I know about the lore, and just I guess if you're a gamer, you've definitely come across.
You must have seen. Okay, there are two major popular ones as far as I'm concerned.
Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth.
Yes.
That specific one.
DCTOE.
Yeah.
You know what the real best game is?
Which one?
Cthulhu Saves the World.
What?
That's an actual.
Yeah, that's an actual game. I have it. It's a comedy game. It's okay. I'm just joking though.
We'll have a look at this one.
There's another more recent one as of the time we're recording this called The Sinking City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There's several Call of Cthulhu games.
Yeah.
And then there was the Sinking City as well.
Yeah. Now The Sinking City is, imagine GTA in
in the old ones, you know.
not GTA, sorry. Yeah, no, it is kind of GTA because you have like it's medium open world-ish, but you're figuring out clues as to this whole cult nonsense, which is okay. As a simple introduction, the whole Cthulhu mythos is written by this guy called H.P. Lovecraft, Howard Phillips Lovecraft.
Yeah.
His whole shtick was cosmic horror. Everybody up until when he came up, most guys were writing about physical horror like Frankenstein, Dracula, things like those,
Yeah.
or psychological stuff. Yeah. Now and when it comes to his brand of writing, he wanted to talk about things that humanity cannot understand, and is way more powerful than anything we ever know.
Yeah.
So we just by virtue of not understanding it, it's scary to us.
Yeah.
The scale of which...
Exactly.
exist.
The scale of which things exist, of which
The
things...
scale of the universe itself.
Yeah.
And how big it actually is.
There are even like board games that I've seen, by the way, and Insanity is a huge
It's
mechanic in all the games and in all the tabletop games. Yeah.
Yeah, even in the books, like, invariably, and this is not a spoiler, invariably in all the books, all the stories that you'll read written by Lovecraft, the protagonist goes mad by the end of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a common thing with
It's a-
everything to do with Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's a constant thing. So,
I think one of the other movies, by the way, is called Dagon.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dagon, Cthulhu are all these guys in... There's this whole pantheon of gods. We consider them gods. They may not be physical gods, but they're alien beings so far beyond us that calling them a god is just correct. It's what they are.
They're like the old gods.
Yeah.
I guess.
And they're thousands, millennia old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've inspired like a lot of newer stuff. Like Monstrous is heavily inspired.
Monstrous is heavily inspired
by Cthulhu
this.
stuff. Yeah.
Which other ones?
I'm trying to think of... But it's just...
Like even if you remember, okay, I don't know. Yeah, in like Shazam, the seven sins.
The
That's a
to an
lot
extent,
very
yes.
old one-ish.
The architecture of the chamber in which the guy is in,
Yes.
the things he talks about,
All that
how
stuff.
big they all are.
Yeah. That's all very whatever.
Even movies like Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Those are things that talk about opening portals into other dimensions
And things come and you don't necessarily understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all falling under the theme of insanity again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie is supposed... Okay, forget the name. They use the name Cthulhu for marketing.
Yeah.
He does not show up. It has nothing to do with the story that Lovecraft wrote, which is Call of Cthulhu. It has nothing to do with that.
It does have some elements.
I think it has some, yeah.
It does have the background.
Well,
elements in
that
this.
said, I haven't read the book,
Uh-huh.
but I remember knowing a summary about Dagon. I think I watched a video
Yeah.
on Dagon.
Or maybe
It has a few things in common with Dagon.
Or maybe it's because... Or maybe I'm the one who's being a lot more critical of it than I am.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It does.
Like, I'm
play
ready
out
to
a
even
bit
rate the
lately.
movie.
Really?
I'm ready to rate the movie for you right now. For you.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but no, let's go through it.
That's okay. So plot wise, this movie follows a dude who gets the news that his mother has died,
Yeah.
and he goes back to his hometown to watch the proceedings, and his hometown is weird.
Yeah.
Very
River mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is similar to, I guess, the premise of a lot of Cthulhu stuff. Like
Yeah.
someone from the outside goes to a backwater.
Yeah. It's a
Area.
backwater town. He finds the locals are
It's-
strange.
Yeah, it's
He uncovers a weird mystery. Madness ensues. It's a very,
Well, it's
very.
true.
Yeah.
it's very formulaic,
Yeah.
like for a Cthulhu story.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, backwater town especially. That's, I
And
guess.
even now, this
theme.
this town is called Rivermouth,
Mhm.
and in the Lovecraft stories, he writes about this place called Innsmouth. I don't know if it's Innsmouth or Innsmouth, however they pronounce it. Yeah, however they pronounce it. So this movie is actually based. It's not based on the Cthulhu story, the Call of Cthulhu.
Mhm.
It's based on a story called The Shadow over Innsmouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. The name is it's more for marketing than it is
Yeah.
an accurate representation of what the movie is about.
Yeah.
We do refer to the old ones, and
They do, yeah.
we're there right at the sea itself.
Yeah. So this
Well,
okay, a lot of the elements
they
are
do
there.
mention him by name as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He's mentioned by name, the cult is there, the
but
sea
it's
is
not.
there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tick boxes are marked.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are tick
They tick a lot,
boxes.
yeah, they tick a lot of the boxes.
It plays out very strangely though. It felt like
Yeah.
a Stephen King movie. Actually, it felt like a Stephen King book.
Yeah, it felt like when you were telling me it feels like a Stephen King
Yes.
adaptation of a it's like he wrote this story.
This story within
Within
Yeah,
the
you're
Cthulhu
right.
mythos. Yeah. It felt very weird.
Like the pacing as well is a bit.
Even the
Stephen
character,
King-ish.
that weird ass. Sorry for that. Sorry for the
Sorry.
French.
Sorry.
That weird loner type of character, always like seeming to be super intellectual, then having to interact with like where he came from,
Yeah.
and
He's not really accepted back home, so he has to work upwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a lot of questions
Shoot.
in.
We're here.
No, I'll save it for the spoiler section because I didn't understand
Uh-huh.
a few things. So I did have questions about it, but I'll save that for the spoiler section. But like in terms of like the way the plot unfolds without spoilers,
Mm-hmm.
like the progression of the plot. What did you guys think?
You first.
Oh man, I honestly thought Hila was punking me.
Really?
5 minutes in, I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going. 11 minutes in, I actually text him and I'm like, yo, is this? I think these guys have taken this name in vain. And it literally took until I think 28 minutes into the movie for the first name drop and for it to start making sense. But it did feel like all of that, we needed all of that. It was subtext. It was our introduction into this universe. And
Yeah.
we spent 2 hours.
Two and something.
2 and something hours inside there, and it's like, oh wow, they did build it up well.
What did you think?
I wasn't a fan of it. Let me
You
say.
weren't. Okay.
Yeah, I was not a fan of it. I'm vaguely disappointed in this movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
vaguely disappointed. I thought it would be a lot more than what it was. But in watching, because I'd watched this movie already, like not already like before, like I'd watched it before you watched it.
Oh, okay.
So when I went over to his place and he was finishing up,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it again. So I was like, okay, fine. I can see some good things that they've done.
Yeah.
But my initial like snap decision was like, this is a trash movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. But I didn't like how they did the plot, and I didn't like how they changed a couple of the characters from, let's say, like the staples in the book. The plot plays out fine.
Right.
Let's say these are my prejudices, maybe because
I see
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are my own prejudices based on having read like a load of the books
Yeah.
and being a huge fan.
Something about Lovecraft though is while the subject and the way he writes tends to actually bring the horror up, some of the themes he writes about feel quite aged.
Yeah.
Like quite aged. It feels like 17th century, some guy in a garret in London, like writing this thing, scrolling this stuff, and the point of view tends to be a bit weird. And this feels like they've brought it into now. And they've brought that man's problems or that particular amount of madness into now in a way that kind of makes sense. Still feels a bit weird, but
Seems a bit weird, but
kind of makes sense as well.
It felt like a 90s movie.
yeah.
Or like a B movie almost.
You say B movie.
Like Interview the Vampire in a weird kind of way. I don't know.
You see now, you guys,
Yeah.
we're getting to the same place, cause.
No. But I kind of liked the plot.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say this. So when I was looking for this movie, I came across the trailer,
Oh yeah.
and I watched the trailer, and I'm like, okay, this is Hillary's revenge for making Henry
To be honest, the first 20 minutes felt like that.
I went in thinking this is going to be a trash movie. I did go in thinking that because of the trailer. And when I actually watched it, I'm like, okay, it's just going. It's progressing in a sensible way. Is what I was happy with.
I like the way we're dancing around this movie, trying our hardest not to spoil it.
Yeah.
That's half the fun. That's half the fun for us for this point.
There's a couple of things like I don't know. I feel like in some parts it was deliberate. Those first 20 minutes of the movie were some form of long slog.
Yeah.
Where the dialogue fell apart and the camera angles were weird.
Oh.
And it all just felt so weird. It just felt like guys acting. At that point, it now doesn't even feel like the B movie. It feels like a C movie. It feels
like a
weird
very
soap.
indie. Yeah. Or yeah, sure.
But then when it goes into like that, when they do the first name drop and we begin to see the madness taking shape, it actually changes. It's like a whole different thing. The camera angles become tight and the colors begin to pop and begin to see how they're setting up this guy's particular madness.
So on that, like, I think, so in plot wise, I think it went well, but tone wise, there were some moments where that just didn't, like, there was like no transition. For example, there's a point where the character loses, like, is really stressed out. So then he bangs and he's fine.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so weird.
Yeah.
It was such a weird transition, and I don't think, like, this movie does a lot of things with, like, cuts
It has-
that go back and forth. So it does have that tone, but that for me felt really, like,
Jarring.
yeah, that was weird.
I don't know.
Because suddenly he's smiling because he banged. And like,
But it is true though. That would happen.
no, but like, how would you even bang when you're that stressed out?
Stressed out.
Like, he was like, "Where's my jelly? I need my jelly." Sorry, I'm being specific. but
yes,
it's not.
it's
like,
so weird.
He was
It's
so
like,
stressed.
you're a bad host. Where's
Yeah.
my jelly? Runs off and bangs around in the kitchen.
Oh man. That's why, like, I watched this movie, like, one of the very first notes, my second note actually,
Yeah.
is it's got a low budget /indie /student film vibe.
Yeah. Oh, so on that now, or wait.
No,
is
I
that
was just
what you were
saying, I was just chiming
Yeah.
in.
So with the camera angles, so there's a lot of shaky cam
Yes.
in this movie.
Yes.
And I hate shaky cam, but
They did it
you know,
well.
there's like a scene. I'll talk about it in the spoiler section. But there's a scene in this movie where it really looks like a video game. It is like over the shoulder kind of, and it's like panning slowly as he moves his head and stuff. It was so video game. Like, I really liked that part. In terms of like having shaky cam. What was weird is when they had the sweeping scenes of like showing the beach and stuff, they're still using shaky cam.
as well.
That's so weird. Like I guess we're used to drones right now,
Yeah.
but even for those days when you're doing like
This was in 2007.
sweeping helicopter shots.
Yes,
why
but
is the
why
guy
is the-
shaking the camera? Like it makes no sense.
It felt very weird. Again, in that whole like framing and the angles and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think part of that again that beginning, the beginning was just so slow. But even when the angles looked janky,
Yeah.
they were interesting.
Yeah, there was
They were interesting
something
to look
really
at.
nice about the way they looked. Yeah.
They looked interesting. The way the camera would move would also be interesting. There was actually a bunch of Steadicam in there. There's a bunch of handheld,
Yeah.
and I felt like all of it was used
For different effect.
in 28 weeks later. I think 28 weeks later, in the beginning, one of the big wide shots of like the zombies like chasing this person, and you're there again. It's off a helicopter, but the shot is shaky, and you actually feel like you're with this guy running like pell-mell down the hill, and all the zombies are coming after you. And
But that's like when you're in the helicopter, right?
yes,
Like when the characters, there is no helicopter. You don't see it.
It's not a static shot.
That's the only way they got the shot was in a helicopter. Like,
oh man, but yeah, I think now it really felt like the 90s again.
Yeah.
The movie just felt very 90s.
or that the budget really showed like this is the only way we can get you the shot, man.
We'll get the helicopter, but we can't hang the camera out of it. So someone has to
to
stick it onto
hold
his
it.
shoulder.
Yeah.
That's the yeah.
One thing I noted about the movie though that I liked was the use of color.
Yeah, the flashbacks had a different video
Yeah.
effect.
They used different effects for flashbacks and dream sequences, and just the use of color to show how the main character was feeling.
Yeah.
Like you see there's a lot of close-up shots of this guy, of the main actor, who I've still not remembered his name.
Joseph
Oh
something.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow,
you should have noted his name down.
I did. I wrote it down somewhere.
I think we're more stressed about what happens to him than
His name.
What his name is.
It was. I know that Casey something is another actress, but
Jason Cottle.
Yeah.
Jason Cottle. or
There
something.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So he's the main character, front and center.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of scenes in the movie where he reacts to stuff, and there's a lot of creative use of lighting
yeah.
and color when it comes to him,
Yeah.
and even just the setting of Rivermouth as it is.
You could argue that there's also a bit of overacting.
Yes, there's also that's good. We went on to the
I don't know if
acting
you'd even
bit.
call it overacting. Man, at this
Some-
point in
some.
time, it felt like these guys were actually doing that. Before we jump into
Some
acting,
actors were good. Some were
Quite
very
good,
very
actually.
theatric.
Let's
And
not mention any names, right?
yeah.
The montage is also really good. But oh yeah, montages.
Yeah, it's Jason Cottle.
Have they said what his real name? I mean, his the name
Russell
of the-
Marsh.
Russell. There we go.
Russell Marsh.
The Marsh Man.
Oh boy. And there were a lot of characters who were just there by the way as well. Like it does show its budget.
Yeah.
Like even the credits for this movie is like in order of appearance.
And
So you have the main character followed by several SUV drivers.
and I didn't even read the. I didn't even read the.
No, I did.
But I
Because
got
I swore I knew the blonde chick from somewhere, and I did.
which one?
The 90210.
Yeah, she was in Beverly Hills 90210.
Okay, I know her from other shows where she's just made an appearance.
Oh, okay.
Susan, the
Yes.
Yeah.
oh sorry, I'll censor all the spoilers that we made.
Oh, but
What
what's
an
her
interesting
name?
description for her.
There's another actual star. There's another cameo from someone who's way more famous elsewhere. if you watch Stranger Things, you know Karen, like the hot mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in this movie.
What?
As an extra.
Where?
You remember? You're the one who even pointed her out.
For real?
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah. At the end.
At the end when there's.
Oh,
Oh wait, what am I? Too many spoilers.
You're gonna have
Too
to
many
bleep
spoilers.
all this out.
Okay, sorry, too many. We'll save that for the spoilers.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've talked about like so the acting.
The acting, okay, for me, I don't know. I found it
was a bit-
sketchy at times.
Yeah, it was
was a bit
all
sketchy.
over the place, right?
It feels, again, this feels like half the movie felt like a play.
Yeah,
The other
Complete
half
to the
felt like a
stage.
movie. Yeah. There's some things that guys do that are just way too theatrical. Like,
Grandiose.
but
Yeah.
there's some
Sweeping
acting that's
movement.
amazing
there's
as
some
well.
really good acting.
Yeah.
But some of it felt like it was for the stage. Some
Yeah.
of it felt like it was for the movie.
Yeah, which is why I guess it has that B indie.
B&D vibe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I still like again those first few minutes just gave me even more psych to shoot our own things.
Like
Nice.
If they can do it,
we can do our own thing. Yeah.
Oh. Wait, plot, acting.
Color.
We've talked about cinematography.
The law.
The music, the lore.
Because the only thing I wanted to mention in the law, I don't know whether I've already mentioned it, is that aside,
They're
okay,
not
for me,
super accurate.
yeah, they're not super. It's not super in depth for someone who's like a fan of Lovecraft.
Yeah.
But you see now, in the books have time. They have time to explain these things in achingly detailed
They
levels.
do. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
this is
The
a
movie doesn't have time to explain all that stuff, and a lot of those scenes in the book when it's being when these things like the gods and whatnot are being explained,
Yeah.
it's a legit page full. So
Yeah.
in a movie that would be boring.
It
It
would
would all
be
be
quite boring.
expositional,
Yeah.
or the guy would be explaining it to another character. So that would be boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that you put it that way, I kind of understand why they went like shallow on the law.
Yeah.
Again, remember a lot of like the way Lovecraft writes. It's always first person.
Yeah, it's
So
always
he's always like, I looked up at the walls
and I
and I saw the carvings,
Yes.
and the carvings spoke to me of ancient times.
Yes.
Man, in a
Of
movie,
the time out of mind, and then he uses like huge old words that you need a dictionary to sit with.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
but it's nice.
like
That's
he
very
uses
good.
eldritch, the word eldritch,
A lot.
more than any other, right?
a lot.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Like
Well,
almost
yeah,
in
I mean-
every story, he says like the eldritch.
Eldritch
this,
horror.
The eldritch.
Well,
that.
Horrors of
Yeah,
The
this is
Eldritch
this is
book.
this is classified as Eldritch
Yeah.
horror, isn't it?
Yes.
Like he coined it.
He coined it.
He
yes.
coined
He coined the
Yeah,
term.
he coined
Yes.
it, I guess.
And I don't know. I'm coming at this. I'm coming at this maybe totally wrong.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You are a fan. You are a fan. So
And as a fan, yeah, as a fan,
you're
Keep this in
sorely
mind.
disappointed.
Guillermo del Toro is coming out with in the
at the Mountains of Madness,
exactly.
I have way more hype for that.
Exactly.
Based off of this, I want to see what Del Toro
Wait,
does.
so-
does.
So with this movie,
Mhm.
it's classified as horror.
It's not scary.
No, it's not scary.
It is not. Yeah, I
more thriller. than
just
anything.
to be clear, I really hate horror,
And he watched this movie.
and I watched this movie, and there are 2 jump scares.
By the way,
They are
One
not.
of them is
They are
telegraphed.
not. They are not scary. Is there?
it is
Which two jump scares?
I'll
you'll
I'll be
still-
yeah.
you'll tell us.
specific in the spoiler section because they literally do nothing. They're like fake jump scares.
Oh yeah. Okay, fine. I don't want.
Like I can't even remember what the first one is, but
darkness.
I remember the second. Okay, I think I know the second one. I don't know about the first one. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, you can watch this. It's more like, you know, if you're a fan of Silent Hill, I can see you having an appreciation of this movie. Kind
I
of.
think Skyline Hill is.
Because it's very slow paced.
Yes.
It's very
very
slow paced,
deliberate.
and it's more about getting psychologically disturbed
Than actual.
and
horror.
confused
Yeah.
than actual horror. Yeah, I would not really call this even a monster movie or a horror movie.
No.
Yeah,
no.
this is more. Yeah, as you said,
It's more of
a
like
thriller.
suspense
thriller.
Yeah,
Because it's more of the not knowing
yeah.
than the what it is.
Oh, there is one creepy scene. That's my favorite scene in the movie. There's one scene I really liked.
Okay, cool.
I think
But
it's the
I'll
one
I'll
you
tell
don't
you.
like.
I'll tell you in the spoiler section because it was dope
Okay,
in my head. I was like, wait, what? I had to do a lot of stuff with the way this movie was done.
Mhm.
I did a lot of rewinding. Like, did I just
Yeah.
miss something?
Yeah.
I don't tend to do that a lot. So there's a lot of vagueness with this movie. But I think should
More
we?
to be discussed.
Yeah. Should we move on to spoilers? Actually, give our rating. And go into spoilers.
Sure.
Why not?
I'm
Why not?
free. You start. You start with your rating.
So, yeah. Okay. So no, I'm rating it pretty high actually.
What? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. I had issues with it, but it's not the worst thing I've watched.
Okay.
I thought it surprised me enough
Okay, fine.
that it could have been a lot worse in my head.
Okay, then bearing in mind, okay, I'll go first. Bearing
Yeah.
in mind that A, I'm a fan, and B, I've said that I have issues with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
It's perfectly okay to watch if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For someone who's not interested in like Lovecraft,
You get tired.
you get bored very quickly. And if you're not interested in the idea of what's gonna go on in the movie, maybe not. It's not scary, but it's an okay watch, and it leads you into. I'd say this is a good enough introduction to Lovecraft. If you're okay with this movie, graduate to the books as fast as possible, because they're way more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd give it a 5.
What about you?
I tend to be a bit of a meanie in regards to like awards and reviews and stuff like that. So I'd also give it a 5.
Okay.
But a 5 to me is actually not really a bad movie. It's got a lot of things right.
Yeah.
It also got a lot of things wrong. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But hence it lands bang smack in the middle.
Okay. I want to know about these things.
But I'm going at it a bit differently from Hila. I'd want to say you're better off reading the books first before you watch the movie. Otherwise, part of it might not make sense, and you might end up having a bit of a different attitude towards the books than you would if you had approached it the other way around.
But if you okay, fine. I'll tell you. I'll say it in the spoiler
Okay.
section.
I'm giving this a 7.
Oh wow! Damn!
Yeah. No.
Where does the Matrix fall there?
Uh-huh.
Where does the Matrix fall?
No, for reference, let
Yes.
me put it this way. For reference, the last movie we watched was Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
Yeah.
And we both gave it 5s.
Yeah. I definitely like this a lot more than Mowgli.
And
Okay.
and we both watched Isle of Dogs also.
Uh-huh.
And we both gave Isle of Dogs an 8.
Yeah.
Aha!
The last movie where we separated
Yeah.
was, I think, no, we actually haven't separated. This is the first movie we actually separated.
Okay.
Because the last Starfighter, we both gave it 5s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's at the same, basically it's at the same rank as
I
the
get
last
Yeah.
I get that you're a bit of a stickler since you're a fan.
Yeah, for this one.
Yeah.
specifically.
I'm not a big fan.
You're not tied
I
down
went
to-
into this. Went into it expecting
Nothing.
utter nonsense based off of the trailer I watched, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought. That said, the things it does wrong, it does really wrong.
Really
Really,
wrong.
really wrong. Yeah.
The acting. The acting.
So the acting.
So we're now in the spoiler section.
So okay. So, in case you are going to watch this, stop listening, because now we're just going to go into spoilers.
No holds barred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll be very specific because I really want to know. So that's your warning. 3, 2, 1. Spoiler section.
Cool. Now start.
Okay.
Mm.
So the you know what the flashbacks?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell was the thing with the plot? Like, did he kill someone?
The flashbacks were weird. They were like from different people's
Yeah,
angles.
different people's angles.
It's not just his.
Yeah.
And different
Because
things.
Mike had a flashback, right? Of like apparently they took girls to that place where they used to jerk off together. They took girls to that place.
What? Okay.
And like he's like knocking on the door to check if he's okay, and the girl was on the floor. Do you remember that scene?
No,
It was like in a flashback.
I
Like,
got that a bit weirdly. It's like Russell had slit his wrists.
oh, Russell slit his wrist.
Yes. And then Mike walked
Walked in and saved him.
So this is an angle thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah.
But I get what
Completely.
you,
I thought
I
he
get
had.
what you're saying
I
because
thought
the
he had
weird
ki-
noises going on in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Those the girls' noises and
So I'm like, what's going on? Like, did he kill someone? Is literally what I thought.
I figured he was just watching porn.
so it felt very weird because
So then why did
the
he
question
slit
he
his
asked him,
wrist?
did you go all the way?
Yeah.
He asked him that.
Yeah.
Did you go all the way? And it's like, okay, was it now in reference to the actual?
It was
wrist?
it was in reference to the wrist slice.
Okay,
Smash.
I did not get that. I literally rewound that thing, and you know, like because of the colors that they're using and stuff,
Yeah.
their faces are a little.
Look,
I can't
they're
tell them
more or
apart.
less the same,
Honestly,
yeah.
I can't tell them
And wait,
apart.
is this from the downloaded copy or the
This-
YouTube copy?
This is the downloaded. It was a decent copy.
I
It's
want
just the colors.
I want your copy because
Okay.
whatever
The
was
YouTube
watching
one
off
that we
YouTube, oh
watched.
my goodness, the compression is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
so
has
in some
artifacts.
places just black,
Yeah.
like literally.
No,
black.
yeah, no. There are.
So it's not the copy.
It's not the
That's how it was shot.
He chose to do that.
Yeah. It was short.
It is just black. Yeah, and you like your
That
hearing
scene.
sounds.
Wait, it was that scene in the sewers with the camera flashing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
just
that
black.
black. It's just black.
It's just black. Yeah, I'll give you a
Yes.
copy.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of nice actually.
I like
It was.
as well.
It was. So the thing with this thing, which is why I think I liked it as well,
Mm-hmm.
is after I got that over the shoulder thing, of that I kept thinking, oh, they've tried to make it game-ish, is what I kept thinking, and so yeah, I was jazzed by that. It's honestly the direction, well, the director's choices or the cinematic choices that they went with that actually are really fascinating for me, rather than the other stuff, I guess. Although again, shaky cam on a helicopter was
That was a questionable choice.
yeah.
Hey man, I stick with them on that one. I
and
found the sister very weird, man.
the sister,
very-
yeah.
very-
So everyone is
She's
weird.
way too like what's it called,
Touchy.
Stepford wife sort of
Yeah,
thing.
So I think in Dagon, if I remember, there was like incest
Yeah,
implied.
there is. This is a law thing.
Yeah.
Innsmouth as a place,
Right.
there's a lot of inbreeding. Like guys.
Yeah, he even starts
And he
swearing.
He
at
mentions
that
about
guy.
he talks
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is these guys are supposed to be half man, half fish. So it's just that now generations of these guys have stuck around this long. They
Okay,
have
that-
weird like fishy traits.
That wasn't translated well in
Exactly.
in the
Now,
movie.
that's what now.
implied to it.
Yeah, the
but
dad is implied to it because they
implied
came
to it
from the
from,
sea
like,
and all
so
that kind of
far.
stuff.
The dad implied to it. Susan also implied to it because she's like, seals are, it's just sea lions.
Yeah.
They were like, they wanted to be humans. Then, so they turned into humans. Then they turned into fish. Then they turned back into humans.
So there's a lot of references to the law
Yeah.
that are dope, but they didn't. They couldn't commit. They couldn't commit or execute.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's like a
Maybe it was a cost.
PR thing or
Maybe it was not. I personally just chalked it down to cost. How the hell
I
are they
think
gonna
also,
get like
also
a fish?
PR
because
will come
they
into
have
play
like
as well.
it was 2007.
Mhm.
The main guy is gay,
yeah.
and now if you have him banging a sis, that's,
Imagine the
Like-
best part. Okay, the thing I liked about that movie
yeah,
was that gay relationship between him and the dude that him and Mike.
yeah.
Okay.
That was a good relationship.
It was, except
It didn't go anywhere.
it's just that scene of where he's
After the
stressed.
jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
scene.
jelly scene.
The jelly
is
scene
the
was-
only thing. But Mike was probably the best character in the movie.
Yeah.
In my
Because the jelly scene made
opinion.
zero sense. Like, there's a lot of scenes that have no bearing with.
To be honest, I was waiting for a twist where, and I don't know if this would translate now from the Lovecraft side, where he'd actually kill his dad, and then it turns out Mike is actually the leader, has been the leader.
I
all the
was
time.
waiting for that. I literally thought Mike was the bad guy. I literally thought that. But no.
You see how the twist worked?
That would have been good. That
So,
would have been
because then it would really cement his turnaround and his commitment to the actual
That
cult
was-
itself.
Yeah, the dad was not a very good
Oh
actor,
my goodness.
He
The dad
wasn't-
was...
and he
He was
wasn't.
a preacher. He was a literal preacher.
Yeah.
He was a preacher, but he was nothing. He was saying was like actual traditional church stuff.
Yeah.
And
no,
this
no,
does
he's-
not ring a bell at all for anyone in this whole town, and it's fine. This is the weird tone that this whole movie sets. It's like something odd is going on here, but no one wants to look at it,
Yeah.
kind of thing, which is kind of cool as well.
That's also a really, really, really common thing in Lovecraft, where
Oh yeah,
let's say in a village or in a town, in a city, there'd be all the guys who are in on the cult.
yeah.
Then of the whole town itself, maybe let's say 50-60% are in on the cult, 20 to 30 know what's happening but are all hands off.
They're like,
Yeah.
y'all do your thing, we'll do our
we'll
thing,
do our thing,
we're
yeah.
not going to talk about this.
Then the remaining 10% are the guys who now are like
Oblivious.
no, they're always being like shushed up
Oh, yeah.
and then being like hidden away. These are the guys who get kidnapped and stuff like that. And then you have your loose stranger show up.
Zadok types. That guy, the mad fisherman guy who wanted booze.
Yeah.
So wait, I thought he died. Okay, they
He-
didn't.
Okay,
Didn't
well,
say anything.
well.
They did. And,
in the Innsmouth book,
he does.
he doesn't die. He just doesn't show up past a certain point, and it's heavily implied
Implied
that something
that
happened to him.
He was
Well,
taken away.
If you so you know the chick who was in sales,
Uh-huh.
the teenager,
Uh-huh.
she
we
was like
We see
sacrificed, right?
Her, yeah, we
at the
see her
end.
at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
She's tied to
Like,
like
tied
Her acting. Whoa, that scene was arguably the scariest scene. And
Well,
that is
don't
that
talk
is
to
a
him.
nice one.
no
Not don't talk to
when
him.
they're in the car.
The deer.
Basically after the jump scare.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a deer. A deer ran out on the road.
Yo, that wasn't a deer. It wasn't a deer, man. Its antlers didn't look like antlers. It looked like something. It looked like a fungus. To be very honest, floating across the screen.
That's the
Didn't look
same
like a
thing I was
deer.
thinking. It didn't look like a deer.
It looked like
But
a lichen or something.
You see the
Just-
same thing in the police in the cell when he's in jail and the whole chaos erupts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That thing that breaks
What?
the window.
Yeah, so I saw it break the window.
Yeah,
but I
when
didn't
you
see
look
what.
into the window,
Uh-huh.
you see that
Shit.
weird lichen fungus yellow stuff.
Yeah.
Like antler stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was seeing things.
You just get a glimpse of it in that through the window.
You know what? You're actually winning points for this movie right now because I literally thought,
Oh,
no, I
It's just
imagine
a
that.
deer.
That was just a thing.
No, that was there. And even in the that's why I also think
What came through the window?
it was a hand. I think it was the same hand.
Like,
I think it was one of the
Basically,
one of
the way he
deep ones.
busts out of jail,
Uh-huh.
there's that earthquake going on.
Mm.
There is some movement. Sorry, wow.
Yeah.
There's some movement near the
window.
the window of the cell,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And if you
I
look
thought it
through
was
that, you know what? I think we'll replay it when we're done.
yeah.
And we'll cross check all
Cross
these
check
things.
those.
Yeah.
Because one, it wasn't a deer. Now I was like, nah, no.
And
The thing
I'm
is,
not stopping my car here.
but you see-
that's not a deer.
like, the thing is, like the quick cuts that they use are too stupid. Like, there's a lot of like you get flashes of like imagery,
Yeah.
and then it's just gone. So that you're going to rewind this movie quite a lot if you want to know exactly what it was. I was already doing that for like major scenes. So like for something flashing, I was like, nah.
But I think like one, just like watch it the first time. Let it confuse the hell out of you.
Then what?
Then,
you
I-
dare
this
tell
is-
people to watch this movie twice.
Yes.
I actually want to, yeah. After
'Cause,
you saying it's not a
again-
deer and you saying there's a thing in the window,
There's a
I
thing in the
definitely-
window. Okay, fine.
I want to see it again.
Okay, you remember the arm that came through the window
I remember
at the cops
arm.
at the police station.
I didn't see what was at the end of the arm.
Neither did I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, neither did I.
I thought there was something. It's
But
just
it
that I didn't
looks
see it.
mighty similar
Mm-hmm.
to the arm where he was drugged the second time.
Aha!
That was trying to drag
inside
him through
alley,
the door.
inside
Yeah, the alleyway.
You remember when he got injected?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
wow,
it looks
that's-
very
that's-
similar to that arm.
I really like the husband.
The
husband in the wheelchair. Yeah, because he's all like, yo,
I need swimmers.
yeah, no, this book. I need this book. Then the guy's like,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
You'll
later.
get you. Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get your book. Yeah.
And then after, it's
Yeah,
like,
the
you got to do me a favor.
so this is the thing, right? Like with some of those actors, they were really, really good.
Yeah.
And they really helped bring the psycho-ness to this place, like, out.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like
Russell.
you have Russell, yeah.
And
That Russell.
You have
oh
the
my
main
God.
guy
and
who
Jelly.
Well,
That's actually, let me not lie to you. That I think is the scene that made me rank it 5. I got so pissed off with that specific scene. Though there are actually 2 scenes that pissed me off.
uh-huh.
The scene for the kid when he's watching Static,
Uh-huh.
and he just name drops Cthulhu out of nowhere, and I'm like, that's not how you do it, dude. You don't do it like
That's
that.
the noise. That's the item that came in the door. After that, I felt like it was the tentacles, and the noise that it was the tentacles rubbing on the
It
door.
should have been. It should have been. It should have been a deep one at the very least.
At the very least,
Yeah.
but it was then it would be a very small deep one.
Yeah, cool. Give me a young deep one.
A 2 meter tall deep.
A 2 meter tall deep one. Give me one of those. Now the deep ones are a race. You'll read them in the books.
I'm now going to start studying the books. Too.
Like for real. Start reading the stories. Like you'll understand
still,
now.
Still Malazan, man.
Okay.
Not touching anything till I
But they're
finish
super
that
short.
series.
They're super
No,
short.
like when
Really?
you say super short, it's like there's a couple that will be 1 page,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that's it.
1 page, 2
Oh, okay.
pages. Yeah. There's a PDF I have
Okay.
that has everything.
So the scene, like that scene with the kid, where he
Yeah.
name drops Cthulhu,
Yeah.
for that reason, it's fine. Overall, it's fine. But I don't like the way that they just dropped the name out of nowhere.
Yeah, even just the name itself carries a lot of lore behind it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Cthulhu is the closest thing you can actually come to saying the name of the
Yeah.
old god. Like, it
Yeah.
can't be pronounced in our tongue, or
It
we
can't. Yeah,
call-
it's not
Our,
pronounceable.
our
End up
the
summoning
name.
him, and that might be another problem in its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even now, even Dagon, by name dropping Dagon is a god to those gods.
Yeah, and he is name dropped.
He is
in this
name
movie.
dropped, and it's not, and it's.
But I like the way the old man did it. The old
Zed
our
Zadok.
drunk fisherman.
The other guy who said that, I know what that fertility that thing
Yeah, the
is.
stone was.
Yeah,
What was
I
the
liked
story?
him as well. I thought the drunk guy, when he was giving, they took him. I thought he was like over.
He was really cool. I wish
Yeah.
he had more of a role in this movie. I wish he had
but-
more of a role in this movie. I wish the dad, weirdly enough, I wish the dad had more of a role in this movie.
Yeah,
for
he
him
was-
to be a bigger antagonist.
Yeah, he didn't
think he
feel
talked
like an
too much.
antagonist at all. He just felt
I think
like
he talked too much. If he didn't talk as much, then maybe you'd have been a bit more scared of him.
And the cult itself. If the
He
more
was-
of the cult showed up to do stuff,
Yeah,
or it was
but
chasing him down, and stuff
yeah.
like that.
yeah, there
I
was
really liked. I wish they would have used. And this is why I say it felt like a Stephen King book. When we initially go into the mom's house, is it the grandma's house, and all the names are written on the walls and stuff like that.
Or the weird doghouse, yeah.
I really wish that the same way the old drunk fisherman was like naming the names, and then we get to see the names there. Whenever like someone else talks about someone, then we'd kind of
We
go
have a
back to-
flashback to the name.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you like that?
I really like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like
That was that was.
Those are the little
See, this
details
is
that
so
make it-
video game-ish.
Yeah.
I thought that was really video game-ish.
Now it plays out like Alan Wake.
It plays out like the Sinking City. Like for real, there's a lot of scenes in the Sinking City of the gameplay that I've watched of the Sinking City where this guy is trying to uncover these
Yeah, again.
these mysteries,
Yeah.
and they play out like this because it's basically how it was codified in the books. There's a lot of reading. He hangs out in
Have you seen
libraries.
it out? Is it out? The Sinking City?
Yeah, yeah.
It's out.
It's out, huh?
Yeah.
It's out.
I'll go look for
I
it.
haven't played it yet, though.
I'll go look for it. I'm playing Control, and Control also has a lot of like these weird details and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It just makes it really nice to be able to read books
Mm.
in games. Read the books.
Said no one.
I'm selling them.
Said no one in my head.
In fact, I'll send you 3 stories. 3 of these Cthulhu stories. They're not long.
Let me finish
You,
Malazan.
you can read them even
too
on you can read them even when you're on the loop. They're that
No,
short.
no. I do work on the lure.
And end up summoning one of the ancient ones on the loop.
On the lure. For me, the worst scene was when he wakes up from the nightmare. and he finds the thing there, because he freaks out a little too hard.
Yeah.
It was just a nightmare that that was pretty vague, and
It was like
you
two-
freaked out. There was a thing on the bed, right? Like he wakes
was,
up,
No, he
and
was holding it.
It's
Yeah.
all-
and it's like no, but you know, like I watched the scene a few times because I was like, what the hell is he scared of? Is it like a dead thing? That's what I thought.
Mhm.
So I kept watching that scene over and over again, and it's just
A rock.
a rock,
If I'm not wrong,
and I'm like,
there were like two levels. There were like two levels to the dream where he woke up the first time, and then he sees. Is it Mike? There's someone he kept seeing on the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Someone who sat down. Was that Mike?
yeah. So I thought in
Mike
the flashback of him.
handed it
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
I think that's why he really freaked out.
Because he was handed something in a dream,
in the
and then
dream,
you have
and then
it.
you wake up and you have
So
it.
I thought that was a flashback. Again, in my head,
Mhm.
the story that I had was when he was a kid, he and Mike were fooling around. They killed someone, and all the scenes of him on the cliff was him.
Remembering.
No, it was of him dealing with it. Because then there's even like a scene of him running away. You know, like, oh no,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and that, blah blah blah. Like I thought that was like all remorse for having killed someone.
No, those were just memories.
Yeah.
Those were just memories up
Which-
there on the cliffs.
Yeah.
That scene, I don't know. There's something.
See, there's so much in this.
Because
like,
that
movie.
stone, like that stone that you saw him holding,
Yeah.
the way it's written, like the Dagon cult and whatever.
Mhm.
It's okay. Like there's random little artifacts.
Yeah.
That are always mentioned in these stories,
Yeah. Even in the tabletops.
even in the table.
And owning them
And owning them
can
are-
make you mad.
Yeah, owning them can make you mad, or they're the trigger to getting you into the
Into
story.
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of glad that they did that, even though I wished that it was the classic hunched over, the figure, the carving figure of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That's another thing that, yeah. I'm like,
Wait.
fine, you're giving me a rock and I'm
And,
like,
and that's why we're saying let's wait for Mountains of Madness.
Mountains of Madness will be, won't have this, won't be like this. That one is going to be, imagine The Thing.
I think you're hyping yourself up a bit.
No, it'll be a lot like The Thing. In
I
the
think-
sense that it's isolation rather than being
Rather than being here.
I'm starting to think, in order to enjoy a movie, just go
I have
and
no
expecting,
idea.
expecting shit.
That's
is
the
what
thing.
you need
Like,
to do. You know?
especially now.
'Cause I
don't,
had a good
yeah,
time.
don't watch the trailer. Just jump into the movie.
Okay.
let it confuse you and be like, oh, so that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, this thing felt like
The salamanders. They looked cute.
Okay, so my favorite scene in the movie.
it looked cute. It did look
Literally,
cute.
the coolest thing that I thought was in this movie was it was like a dream sequence where you're just getting like a panorama of I think his dad walking on the beach with a stick.
It was
That was him.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
He's walking on the
And
beach
then-
with a stick.
He
And then the
screams.
camera, like as he comes closer to the camera pans left and you see a box with like things in it.
People.
And when you
People
look
arms.
in there, it's like arms moving around like,
That
like,
was really
that
cool.
was really
that was such a good scene. I'm like,
They did.
I'm
had
like,
a
what
couple
did
of
I
really
just
nice-
see?
Yeah,
Like,
they had a lot of cool things like that.
yeah.
And you see now, I think that's where now the budget went within the film.
It went into making
into
that
making
box.
that
Stuff like that, yeah. And those parts, I'm really happy they were there because they then gave, again, that weird feeling of madness, like a lot more grounding. To be honest, those parts felt like Moses.
Yeah. No, it's because the symbolism. I think it's because he's wearing
Because
robes
the
and he has
robes
a
and the
staff. Yeah.
But dude, just seeing that box.
Seeing the box
With
with
those
arms
things,
was really cool.
I
you see
didn't. So
twice, don't you?
this is the levels of it. When I saw that scene, it's like a box and there's stuff moving, and then there's loud music implying that there's something I should notice there. Let's go look at it again.
And just the
Okay.
arms.
And no, I still didn't see. It took me the third time. I used a magnifying glass, dude. Like, I'm like, oh, the arms. So it was like a process coming to that realization. I'm like, wow, that's well done, man.
There's even when he was, I think when he was going around the sewers
Mhm.
and how he ends up getting lost, and towards the end when So in the beginning, it's like it felt really disorienting that he's using the camera to look
To
and
flash,
see where he's
yeah.
going. But it didn't seem like he was doing that. It seemed like he was actually just taking photos. Then towards the middle and the end now is when he's like now finding his way out, and then the quote unquote salamanders show up.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice them.
You'll see them.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Those were the moments where I just didn't bother pausing
Oh, okay.
or going back.
So they're weird, like humanoid creatures, tiny humanoid like faces. You know how those Perry Bible Fellowship comics look like?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's how.
Is that really how you?
That's what I saw.
Have you read The Time Machine?
No.
Okay, like at some point in the future, we have like split up into two parts, like the one race of beautiful human beings living on the surface,
Yeah.
and the second race of like slaves living under the surface.
Okay.
So they felt like that. They felt like the Morlocks from the Time Machine.
Yeah.
All wizened and white with sharp teeth and little hands.
Wow.
Like there's as you're saying, on second thought, there's levels to this movie.
it's again when it works, it works.
It works.
Really works.
It really does work well. Like that scene, really stuck with me. And I really
The
enjoyed
box of the hands.
the box scene really stuck with me, and even
Yeah.
the cop in the jail scene,
Mm-hmm.
that scene really stuck with me
Yeah.
because
The jail scene was like 3 dreams again in one. Because he's like, and just 2 beds. Then he ends up on the beach. Then he's back. And
then
it's
he's
during
holding
a
the
riot.
door, and it's during a riot, and the riot finishes, and he goes. And the thing I liked the most about, weirdly enough, the thing I liked the most about the protagonist was there are those scenes where he overacts.
Yeah.
And it gets really annoying. Like the dinner, the very first dinner that he has with his
Wow,
family
that dinner though. Everyone
was just
overacted on the
awkward.
table.
Yeah, that was
But I think again
that was all right for me.
That was fun. Like,
For me, the overacting was freaking out over a rock.
No,
really. I felt
Like,
when-
dude jumped out of bed like it was a dead rat, and I'm like, what am I missing here? Oh, it is. Is it really just a rock? Let's go back. Is it a rock? It's a rock. Okay.
When you have a look at the dream, you'll see where he gets handed the actual item itself. So I guess that's really where he
But
freaks out
just
from.
his reaction though.
yeah, the reaction
Was like
was too much.
It was like a rat.
Yeah, it was too
Like
much.
he reacted like it's a rat. So that's what I mean by the over. I don't mean like, yes, you would freak out that it's a
Okay,
rock,
but the amount of
but like,
freakouts-
would you jump out of bed the way you would, and like run away and leave it like,
like even the scene where he's back in the doghouse.
yeah,
And he sees like a stone, like a
the reflection and all that.
There's a circular stone thing
that
that he
was
reaches
also-
out and touches, and he recoils really quickly, like it's super hot.
yeah.
Yeah, so that scene for me, I was like, okay, fine, dude, you don't have to like jump at everything.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it moves
It
into
was-
that
it was
scene
that, yeah.
for he touches his own reflection, and then someone else's face comes out of water. That old man,
Yeah.
right,
Even then,
who I
like,
believe
okay,
was his
now-
grandfather.
I think. Because
Yeah.
they kept superimposing it.
Yeah, because they kept
I thought
superimposing
it was just old him.
or old him. Yeah, it would have been one of those weird things.
So there's the yeah.
So I liked
I
now.
completely forgot about that because there was no conclusion to that.
Yeah, there's no
Like-
conclusion to
No,
that.
he
No, he
beats
kills.
him.
He beats him.
Oh
to
yeah,
death.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the stone.
Yes.
So he beats him to death,
yeah.
and I was like, that reaction of that now the overacting sold it because that's a traumatic experience. But you can't have a traumatic experience like that and then lose your shit over jam. Yeah, over jelly. I'm like, dude,
Okay, it's
have some range, man.
Yeah, it was.
Poor guy,
Yes,
man. He's just like some college, university
so.
professor. Then
Oh
he
yeah,
comes and
professor. Yeah.
gets
Oh.
inducted into a cult.
The opening scene was pretty nice. It was very Silent Hill, like he's driving.
yeah, he's
these
just
guys are
driving
like
along.
that, and then suddenly there's an accident, and
There's an accident.
That was intense.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and
Where the overacting, overacting, underacting, side acting. So the phone call at the very beginning is a phone call that's like, oh my god, and you is that how you react to people telling you your mom is dead?
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy next to him is like,
Can
"Come
I
back."
have 20? Can I get $25?
Then from there it goes into the bicycle bit, and that whole stuff felt very weird. So I was like, what's happening?
Who the
here?
hell were all those people? Why
Was
was
it
that?
him?
Like, no,
Was it him?
It wasn't
like,
him.
sleeping on the street.
No, those were other randoms.
For real?
Yeah, that wasn't
So
him.
who's that guy?
I don't know. That's what I was saying.
He
Like,
kept walking up to cars, like
see-
sleeping on the street.
My theory is like the guy who he was sleeping with was clearly
Homeless.
a hooker. No.
oh, okay. I internalized that he was homeless.
And again,
So you see,
so
it was a
there's
driving
something
sequence,
weird as
so
well.
they just cut it out of order. So it's like he went and picked up that guy. I see now.
Now you see.
No, but
Now you
also,
see why it's fine. Why it's a fight for me.
there's this thing. So this thing about him being gay was really odd.
Really hammered him.
I'm not. No, I'm not. The thing is, he's gay, right? All these women are coming on to him.
Yeah.
He never mentions even once
That he's
just that he's gay.
Yeah.
I don't swing that way. Very
does.
easy. No, he doesn't.
He did to the sales girl whom he wanted her to get into the car.
Oh yeah, but he tells her
but
after the
he
fact.
tells her.
No, he told
she's.
her straight up. He's like, look at my driving license.
Yeah, I'm a raging homosexual.
Exactly.
This is who I am. Blah 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 blah. You're safe, right?
But for the others
doesn't.
coming onto
But
him, he
everyone
doesn't.
everyone who's like coming onto him, nothing.
But even,
Like I want to have your baby. She pushes him on the bed to try and bang him. I'm gay.
none of that ever comes up.
It's not gonna work out. How is this gonna
How
happen?
is this going to happen?
And he kept on kissing her.
No, and now I have to go. And then again,
it wasn't really
like
convincing.
even when she's like flirting with him, like before he goes over and stuff. I want to bang you is what she's
It's
saying.
more or less what she's
And
saying,
and
yeah.
he's like,
Okay.
will you show me the book? so it's, and I'm wondering if that was deliberate.
What men really want.
Yeah.
The history books.
I'm
So you should
wondering.
have that
the male
meme.
fantasy.
I'm
Wait,
wondering
let's have that meme. We have Susan.
what
and
men,
she's looking
what
behind.
women think we want, what men really want. Yeah,
Yes.
that one.
History books.
Yeah.
No, what I'm wondering is because this movie is like thought, like I think some of the things are a bit well thought.
Mhm.
Was that one of the things? Because it's weird that he doesn't say that. I'm wondering if that's intentional. Because it's a big deal that he gets
Interesting.
raped.
Yeah, it is.
It is a big deal.
So you
So
could-
so why wouldn't he? Like why wouldn't he just say he's gay?
They also kind of imply that he's gay more to rebel more than anything.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
So
that
that's-
was more or
that's
less
the thing.
what they said at
But-
the dinner table.
Mhm.
Actually,
Yeah. So he could be doing it to spite his dad, who was a preacher, blah blah blah. You know, and you know they want him to have a kid, yada yada yada. But like, his relationship then with Mike makes no sense.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
with Mike, at the one, like as Hila said again earlier, the one good thing about the way they present it, it's less about and this is the way Mike himself put it. Like it's not really that we're having sex, but this is some extension of our friendship.
Yeah.
Like
The intimacy growing
this,
to.
this is like an intense hug.
Yeah.
An intense kind of hug.
Yeah.
That's what Mike was trying to say.
That's I'm not bashing the relationship. It's just like, unless okay, yeah, you make sense.
It's weird.
So does
I like
he
the way
not-
they tackled it anyway?
Does no, I like the way the relationship was done, but it stops making sense if he doesn't tell these
If he
chicks,
doesn't tell
I'm-
these chicks that
I'm-
he's gay.
I'm gay.
Because he's not
Like,
committed
why?
to the lifestyle.
Which is why we're back at. Which is why we're.
So
back
maybe he's
at,
just bi.
Maybe just.
Maybe
yeah,
he's bi.
maybe.
Or
I
maybe
actually
he's-
figured Mike was bi, and he wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, because
He
Mike
did
does.
say
have-
he did have a kid.
Yeah, he did have a kid. He did have a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I think both were bi, because again we go back
Again,
to that
how do you-
beginning scene with all the
dude, that jerking off
wobbling
scene
and
was
stuff.
was
yeah
really
the-
weird. It was so casual. It was such a casual flashback. I was like, really?
Actually, this is something that I noticed. A totally different thing. Sorry.
What?
In kind of keeping with the theme of you saying there was video gamey elements,
Yeah.
right at the beginning,
Uh-huh.
this guy goes into the mental hospital to visit his mom's best friend,
Uh-huh.
who's also crazy for some reason.
Uh-huh.
She tells him immediately, go to the basement of the house.
There's something.
Questions.
Look in the fireplace. She left you something in there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do this at all
Till the end. Yeah.
till the very end.
Yeah.
And when he does go eventually to the house, he finds a tape. And his mom is basically spelling out everything to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Had he just taken the same day when he left the mental hospital to go to the house, get the tape,
Yeah.
none of this would have happened.
Right.
Yeah. So is it that this guy's just being difficult for the sake of like...
See, the thing is, he is the chosen one.
Is, though?
We're dealing
What's
with
so
powers
special
that-
about this guy?
See, so the thing I like about this movie as well is
the
there
last
wasn't.
Marsh guy.
But the other thing is, there was no happy ending with this
Well-
movie, and I really like that.
Okay.
And I don't want to sound like a weirdo,
No,
but
no, that
I
bodes
really like, because when I think Lovecraft,
well. Uh-huh.
given I haven't read the books,
Yeah.
you're dealing with cosmic horror,
Yeah.
the kind that humanity can't comprehend.
Yeah.
How then do you overcome it? You don't.
You don't, yeah.
Full stop.
It
So I
overcomes
do
you.
like that the way it kind
ended.
of resolved. Like it's not a good ending.
Now, by the way, if you
Fine.
start reading the books,
Yeah.
That bodes well,
that
yeah.
becomes
That's
that's
it.
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
how
Just
that's
the
how
way it plays
yeah.
out. Always,
Yeah.
this guy will always get lost in the temple.
There's
This other
there's
guy
a
will
couple of
always
stories that at least have
The
happy-ish
resolution.
endings.
The resolution is that the guy runs away.
That's
He runs away
that's
from
one
the
of the
bad
best
thing.
endings you'll get out of
Yeah.
Lovecraft. Most of them are just downhill spirals into madness.
Here's something else I didn't notice. Again, another question. This guy got raped.
Didn't
banged.
mention it. Didn't even report it.
That's again.
Who's he going to
That's
report
that's
it
his,
to?
that's probably
That's another
his
thing.
stupid tick, right? Like, that's probably his stupidity. But he got raped and stuff, and we never talk about him now putting a baby in Susan.
Yeah.
The
So
okay,
there's like what was the whole point of that whole thing then?
Yeah. Okay. There's a bunch of subplots that I think were just left hanging, like
Yeah,
the camera,
yeah.
like the camera, the salamanders, the missing kids. What was the whole point?
Oh my god! So were his babies the babies he made with her?
Yeah.
What do you mean his babies?
You know, like
With the
when
bathtub, but then
at the ending he's taken to that bathtub, come see your children,
yeah, those are his
and there's just like a blood in a bathtub.
yeah.
I didn't know what was happening.
Oh,
I figured
so
that
are
those are
those
his
from
kids.
Susan?
Yeah, I figured that the but because you know Susan is there,
Ah, you just made the plot make more sense.
but Susan was there.
Yeah, so I'm not getting that. She's definitely not pregnant.
She might not be pregnant, but maybe they were the salamander kids. I figured the salamanders are his kids.
Eh. Confusion. What I'd gotten was the line, the lineage had to go on.
Yeah, it did.
It had to go on. Somehow now that's like the power in the family. But what they also said was
Grandfathers die on the May 1st.
Yeah.
but they die also if you have a child.
Yeah. So he had his child and he killed that.
No,
guy.
if he actually got his child,
Uh-huh.
then his dad would have died.
No, they said grand.
Yes, but that would be that child's granddad.
Oh yeah, so his dad. So maybe his dad did die at the end.
I don't know. His dad's not dead at the end.
There
Poor
was the
Mike.
whole.
Alright, Pete,
There's
Mike.
the whole where the stone went,
Yeah.
or what happened at the end.
I feel like
After that.
he would be more likely to kill his dad than Mike.
Oh, I thought he killed Mike. I straight up thought the bad guy won and he killed Mike.
I honestly,
No,
I don't know.
think you'd have killed Mike.
I think he killed his dad when he said,
Don't ruin my life. Don't ruin this movie for me. The black guy's won, he killed Mike. That's how the story ends.
Like I said,
Mike was the best one.
No, he'd kill his dad and then find that Mike was actually the leader.
in on it still.
all
Or
this
still
time.
part of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
at least still.
It
part
was
of
all a test.
I'd be like, you still passed the test.
Yeah, because you killed your dad, now you're the new leader of the cult. So, progress.
Level up.
I really thought he killed Mike.
We don't know. Again, the
Yes.
ending is open to interpretation.
Let's
So we have three different
let's-
interpretations
This
of
is
the same end.
this is the beach from Inception. So
Yeah.
just a bit lower down there,
Yeah.
Leonardo is probably like washed up. Washed up with
That's
Real
right.
talk, real talk, I like this better than Inception.
For real.
Yeah, I did. I did not like Inception. Yeah.
We will have a discussion about that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like Inception could have had some element. No.
I found Inception
We'll have
boring.
another conversation
That's
about
Yeah.
this.
So, would you recommend this to someone?
Yeah.
To anyone? Or
No, not to anyone. I think you need to like weird stuff.
Mhm.
If you like weird movies that are a little off, this is a good one. It has some really good choices, I guess, for cinematography, and it's kind of all over the place. If you like indie stuff, yeah,
Okay,
it's a watch. But again, if you're heavily invested in the Cthulhu mythos, I don't think this is gonna do you
I think
good.
I'd say watch it.
I
I'd
think
say
it's a
watch
good.
Yeah.
It's a good like spin off of the Cthulhu mythology, and I would recommend it to anyone. But that's how I normally weed out my friends. I recommend them things I like, and
If
people
they
start
like
walking
it,
away,
get them closer.
yes.
If they don't, you just stay
you
there.
just stay there.
But we yeah, is it still 5 for you guys?
Yeah, for me, it's
Still
still a
fine.
five.
Yeah.
It's
so,
a 5.
So we disagree heavily on this one.
It's a 5, but
No,
it's
not-
a.
we don't disagree heavily.
We just rate it
Our
differently.
skills are a bit skewed because of the
Oh.
fanboyism,
Yeah.
but on my side, my issues are more with like weird
Yours is
weird
the cinematography.
inconsistencies,
vibe.
and
Yeah.
The inconsistencies are
those are what like kind of tied me over.
Mine, it's just because of. I'm looking at the wealth of the law,
yeah.
and then I'm looking at what this was.
Yeah.
There's a mismatch.
This is your Transformers movie. as well.
Yeah. this is Transformers 2
But
through to
but
whatever.
it's not
to whatever film.
but it's not a 1 out of 10 for you. So it's not.
I considered Transformers 1.
One was good.
One was
Exactly, in
okay.
the sense
One for
where
me was a 6.
It's not okay. It's not like 100% okay because Bumblebee still peed on this guy. The transformation still didn't make that much sense. But
But the transformations
because-
never make sense.
No, back in the day,
they
the transformation, those
The
conservation of physics,
lore
yeah.
wise,
Like,
Transformers
you
make
could see
sense.
his
Mass
This is
shifting.
going to turn into a different podcast, though, if we go.
Yo,
Look,
OG Transformers had mass shifting. It
OG
didn't matter what
Transformers-
size they were.
OG's Transformers, like, it would kind of... okay, you remember the... what are they called? The toys, the actual toys
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
You'd see, like, to an extent, the Transformer would kind of shift the way the toy would.
Yeah.
And that's obeying some laws of physics.
True.
Right.
Versus what ILM did.
This
it's a
is
bunch of
just things.
shards.
Shards
like,
grow out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Shards grow out. I am Mystique in machine form.
But
is-
the
is
counterpoint
basically-
to this.
Remember, Sam
Remember
was inside
Skyfire.
the car.
Remember Skyfire.
Skyfire was dope.
Yeah,
Skyfire
Skyfire
was
is
dope. Skyfire was dope. Starscream was dope. Megatron.
I'm still pissed Megatron
No,
wasn't
wait.
good.
You're talking about the movies or the?
I'm talking about the cartoons.
A combination.
I
Yeah, I'm
love.
talking about
I
the
love.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Skyfire in the cartoons was immense.
Yeah.
I like
He
the
was a
way- I
big
like the
robot.
way-
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone used to fit inside. Everybody could fit inside Skyfire.
Yeah.
When he transforms, he's a bit taller than Optimus.
Yeah.
Mass shifting. It's
Oh.
not that he's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you see now for someone like Skyfire, it
I
would
mean,
probably
dude,
be out
just
like,
Megatron, right? Like
Voltron,
Megatron turns
like couple
into a
of
gun. That's
planets
happening.
like
really.
fit into each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it would be like, yeah, still kind of work.
Okay, anyway. That's
Remember,
a Transformers.
Bumblebee is still small.
Yeah.
Then you'd have like Optimus there. Then everyone else is like halfway in between Bumblebee and Optimus, and then Megatron and him, and not so bad.
So it's Megatron and Ravage,
Yeah.
basically, who are not the range. Either way, best Transformers movie is Bumblebee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've given up on the movies. I've never watched them.
Yeah, I'm going to download it.
So we'd recommend Cthulhu to guys, yeah?
Yeah, so
Yes.
back to Cthulhu. Yeah, we'd
100%.
I'd recommend it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
You'd pick.
there's a
you'd pick what to
caveat.
recommend.
I'd say there's a caveat. You have to like
Yeah.
be open to an
To
experience,
strange experiences.
to something. Yeah, that's
Will you read
different.
a book? Please say yes.
Will
Give
I
him-
read the book?
Yeah, we'll give him
Not
one
yet.
book each.
No, I'm literally not going to read anything till I finish Malazan.
All of them
All
or
of
just
them?
Deadhouse
I am
Gates?
going to read all of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Until I at least burn out. If I burn out and need a change, I'll I'll take
Yo,
a change.
going
But
to
I'm-
Lovecraft as a change.
It's not. It's not. By the way, it's not a good change because
Yeah.
Malazan kind of gets overpowering at some point. Like everyone is quite.
Hey, shh, 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 shh.
I'm not spoiling.
I don't want to know. I don't want to. No. Everyone, everything is happy.
For 8 books. Yeah.
No, think about it this
It's
way.
okay.
The beginning at Pig. Just
La 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 la. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's wrap this.
yeah. Let's I guess that's it.
Yeah,
We
that's
just
it.
close off. The next episode will be hopefully talking about Deadhouse Gates.
But just in
Finish
case
the
you
books, please.
No.
No,
You
it's not
have
just
to.
in case.
You
You're
have
finishing
to.
this one.
You have to, or we just mark it
You find
as
him.
like
Let's
you
find him.
couldn't.
Let's find him.
Okay.
Let's find him. Can't we just find him?
Find
How
him.
will you find me?
You will wait and see.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
That's the test.
you're gonna have to go like. But you did 4 chapters in a day.
I did, but then I've been busy since then. That's my problem.
Yeah.
So I just need
I-
another free day, then I'll just catch up.
4
Maybe
more
another
chapters.
Like
I'm-
I can do 4 chapters a day.
It's not
Two
bad.
2 a day is hard.
No,
No,
it's
because
hard. Damn, I burned through that book. Huh?
yeah,
I guess-
you're reading
Yeah.
the audio. 1 chapter, well, 1 track is an hour plus.
Are you
An
kidding
hour
me?
45 minutes.
Okay, I'm reading. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess,
what I'm saying.
Like I actually
So-
burned through the book. quick.
So like doing 2 is
a
a commitment.
2 hours.
Yeah, and he did 4. I'm like, whoa, I'm jealous. How do you manage
But
that?
I listen to it all day. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I listen to it basically.
Yeah. That's how I did. So Gardens of the Moon. Where has this podcast gone? Gardens of the Moon.
Let's wrap this.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it, then we'll talk
Yeah.
about it.
Okay. So thanks for listening. Bye. Have fun.
Bye, have fun, you guys.
Do you have an opinion on what we just discussed? Did we miss something? Tell us in the comment section and we'll read it in the next episode. If you're listening on Anchor, send us a voice message and we'll add it to this episode. Don't forget to follow our podcast on Twitter @SpoilFans for updates, and follow our Instagram for behind the scenes action @Spoilers and Fandom. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube and Anchor to get the latest episodes.